Hello everyone! In this video I'm going to show you how to get diamond armor in about an hour. Let's get started. Ultimately the goal is going to be to find a village, so I'm going to look around and see if I see one from where I start. Since I don't, ideally I'm going to want to head northwest. I believe statistically it makes the most sense for finding a village. It looks like with this seed I'm going to need a boat to start heading in that direction. Four things you can aim to gather on your way to finding a village will be spruce saplings, sugarcane, flint, and at least 5 pieces of iron. You're going to want spruce or possibly jungle saplings so that you can grow larger trees and get more logs faster. Essentially what we'll be doing is trading a lot of sticks to Fletchers in order to get emeralds, and then we'll be using those emeralds to get all of the other stuff that we need, including food to keep populating the villagers, and tools and armor. As I'm boating around, I'm looking for shipwrecks and any sort of ruins. To try to get iron or flint, you need 2 flint per fletching table, and eventually you'll want 3 fletching tables. And you need 5 iron for a blast furnace, which you'll need to make your armor. I'm not that great at identifying shipwrecks, so maybe there was another chest, maybe there wasn't. I'm not really sure. I'm looking around to see if I can spot a village. I'm not just looking for a village, I'm also looking for a biome that a village is going to spawn in. So a plains, taiga, savanna, tundra, or desert. A village will spawn in any of these. I tend to just avoid the dark oak forests or the big tree taigas, the jungles, and the swamps. These are pretty easy to identify from a distance. So I see a plains biome, and this seems like a good place to get off and start looking for a village, and sure enough I find one. I place down the spruce saplings in the hopes that they will grow on their own and I can get more saplings from them to start growing even bigger trees. As soon as I get into a village, I want to take all of the beds and workstations. These are things that the villagers will path to, so I want to consolidate them all in one space. A useful feature of the village is the bell that's somewhere around the village center. So I usually try to set up a big place around this by taking an existing home and then kind of expanding it so that I can fit more villagers inside. Little villagers like to just jump on beds, so if there's a bed nearby them, they'll go towards it. When I initially set up the house, I make it so that villagers are able to path into it but not get out. So they fall further than 1 block into the house and they can't path back out. I set up a ladder that's a block off the ground so that they can't go up, but I'm able to get in and out this way. I'm placing down sugarcane so that I can turn it into paper later and trade it with the librarians. I like to think of this process in 3 phases. So phase 1 is going to be about getting armor. Phase 2 will be about getting weapons and tools. And then phase 3 will be about getting books from librarians. So I'm setting up the sugarcane now so that I have a good amount of it later when it's time to start trading with the librarians. I didn't actually gather any gravel or flint on the way here, so I decided to do it now. Once I get 2 flint, I'm able to make a fletching table. When you ring a bell, villagers will path back to their homes. And so in this instance, since I've put all of their beds in this area, they'll all try to run to there. Except for that one guy for some reason. I like to place the workstations on the floor to kind of keep them out of the way. You'll want to collect all of the hay bales in the village, but probably not for the reason that you think. This village only seems to have 1 pile of them, which is kind of weird, but you work with what you've got. Ideally, for this first phase of getting villagers, you'll want about 6 to start with. You'll end up with 3 Fletchers, a farmer, a weaponsmith, and an armorer, and not in that order. If you end up with just 2 villagers, you're going to want to start with a Fletcher and a farmer. You can trade sticks with the Fletcher to get emeralds, and then you want to make sure that the farmer starts off with the bread trade. You can buy bread from him and then throw it at the 2 villagers to breed them and get more villagers. If you have more than 2 villagers, you should start with a Fletcher and a weaponsmith. You're going to want the iron axe trade from the weaponsmith, and this is what's going to help you to collect sticks a lot faster. You're going to want to convert all of your hay bales into wheat, and then you'll want to compost all of that wheat. Unfortunately, none of my saplings grew, so I can just throw some bone meal on one and get this process going. I still have a wooden axe, but if I get a weaponsmith, I can trade him 3 emeralds for an iron axe. In order to get 3 emeralds, I can trade a stack and a half of sticks to a Fletcher. And if you want to be precise about it, you can get a stack and a half of sticks from 12 logs. The weaponsmith uses a grindstone, which requires a stone slab. So I need to get 8 pieces of cobblestone to make a furnace, and then 3 pieces of cobblestone that can be smelted into stone so that I can create a stone slab in the crafting table. While things are smelting, I can go and check for more saplings and get a big tree planted. It is at this point that I realize I don't have any wood planks, so I need to get some of those. And luckily there's some right here. Now I'm just gonna chop my way up the tree and then chop back down. I noticed that the Fletcher's other trade involves giving him an emerald and 10 gravel in order to get flint, and this is definitely a time saver. I want 4 more flint in order to make 2 more fletching tables to get 2 more Fletchers, and placing gravel and breaking it over and over again until it turns into flint is kind of a time sink. So this is a useful trade, but I don't know if it's worthwhile to try to get this trade as well as the stick trade on your first Fletcher. One of the Fletchers doesn't have the stick trade, so I destroy both of the fletching tables. I already know I traded with one of the Fletchers, so he's not going to change his trades after I've traded with him once. I suddenly ran out of bone meal without actually getting a grown tree out of it, so I'm a little lost at this point. So the options are to either get logs from another source, try to find some more things that I can compost to get bone meal, or maybe work on a different activity. While I'm waiting for the trees to grow, I decide to go mine iron. I'll need 5 of it in order to make a blast furnace for an armorer. I don't actually find any iron at this point, and I can hear mobs in the wall. I don't really want to go mining where there are mobs right now because I have no armor and I'm kind of a Care Bear. The trees still haven't grown, so I decide to go look for more hay bales. Again, I don't find anything. And so another option is to start trading with the farmer. I can get a bunch of apples and I can compost those to get some bone meal. Apparently villagers will pick up bone meal, so you want to make sure that you're standing close enough that you pick it up before they're able to. And of course the trees have grown by the time I've finished actually getting more bone meal. My axe is almost gone, so it's a good idea to keep spares in your inventory so that you don't have to run back every time that you need a new axe. You can grow large trees in a line so that it's a little bit faster to get through more of them at once. Whenever you're trading with villagers, you can hit spacebar to redo the last trade. So what I'm doing here is shift left clicking the emeralds into my inventory and then hitting spacebar to restock the stick trade, and just doing that over and over again. Since I didn't find any iron on my earlier expedition, I decide to cheese it a little bit and kill some iron golems. I think probably one of the ways in which I die most is 2 iron golems, so I stack up 4 blocks high so that there's no way they can touch me. And definitely in like a very flat area. I've gathered the iron that I need for the blast furnace. You also need a furnace, and you need 3 smooth stone. So I am going to take some cobblestone and smelt that into stone, and then I will smelt that stone into smooth stone. I think it typically takes around a minute to a minute and a half to harvest one full large tree. So I'm able to select the trade that I want, and then hovering over it on the right side, I can hit the drop item button to basically do the trade but also drop the item on the ground. When you get the Armorer to Expert, you'll get a pants and a boots trade. So I can buy the 2 pieces of diamond gear and then go back to the previous tier and buy out the item to level him up more. There is a possibility that on the previous tier he'll want lava buckets or iron, both of which I don't really have at this point, so that's not an ideal trade, but if this does happen, you can go and mine some iron to trade with him, or if you have a good source of lava, another option would be to get a fisherman. One of the fisherman's first trades will be a fish in a bucket, and so you can buy the fish in the bucket and then get rid of the fish, and you'll have buckets to go gather lava. Villagers will restock their trades a couple minutes after sunrise. Since their trades aren't restocked yet, there's time to go collect some more logs. There is my full set of diamond gear, and you can see it took me just over an hour to get it. The next part of the process is going to be to get diamond tools and weapons, and that will involve getting one more villager who is a toolsmith. It's also going to focus more on mining for iron so that you can trade with both the weaponsmith and the toolsmith to get them leveled up pretty fast. And now that we have diamond armor, it's a lot safer to go caving. Thanks for watching.